We're live. What's up, all you minties? This is the Uncanny Omar. I am joined with this guy right here, that Rob64.
What's this? Are you Wushue? This thing? Hey, what's up, guys? What's up, gamers?
So thank you, everybody, for joining us. Today, we are going to be looking at our live hauls. This is the way that Rob likes to do it for some reason, but whatever. Even though I really don't. Well, we do get to talk about video games, but I was like, I really don't haul as much as I used to as far as video games. Got a couple things in from my buddy Kyle, and then I've got some art books and then one video game statue or figure, I guess. So, how is everybody doing this morning, or whatever time it is, wherever you are?
Morning, evening, afternoon.
Surprise!
Well, what the fuck?
Oh, it's Wonder Manny!
Having a video without me here about video games.
Well,
they commented, was like, "Have you guys already played Resident Evil 3 and Final Fantasy VII yet?" And I was like,
no.
Yes, I have.
Maddie,
so I thought I'd say hi.
well, thank you for surprising us. I always mean to invite you to these things, but then I forget. Like, a lot of the time, you get things digital, right?
Yeah, all my digitals for this month have been digitals because I don't want to go to the store.
Well, yeah, I don't blame you this month. I just meant in usually, is it digital that you get your games?
Well,
You buy physical?
yeah.
All right. Well, if you're not doing enough shows already,
I just don't buy as much because I am playing. So I usually wait until I'm done to buy.
Oh,
I did buy like 6 video games this week just because of the Golden Week sale on PlayStation Network. So I picked up a bunch of just like shorter games.
There's a lot of good stuff out there that's on sale this week.
What did you pick up this week, Maddie?
I picked up the Phoenix Wright trilogy, which I already have like on my phone and on other systems. But I don't have it on PlayStation 4, and Elliot's never played it, so this is my trying to get him to play it. I picked up White Day, which is like a Korean horror game. It's like they've been remastered. Root Letter. Also, Digimon. I can't remember what the name is. It's one of the Digimon games, but it's not Cyberslim. It's the other one. So
I have never heard of anything besides Phoenix Wright.
You've heard of Root Letter. You've heard of Root Letter.
It's a good time to like pick up some smaller games that maybe like don't get hyped as much. That I wanted to play through. Oh, and I picked up Remothered, which is a horror game that I haven't played.
I was always a big fan of the Phoenix Wright games, and I always forget how long they take to play too. Because like the first one took me a long time. When I thought it was over, there was more. And I also forget how non-kiddie it is. Like, the actual things that happen in the very first game are like you're trying to solve the murder of somebody close to you. So I always forget that. But that's awesome. I know that they were giving away games too, right? Like, I think they gave away Journey on the PS4.
Journey and was it The Last of Us, I think?
No, I think it was all the Uncharted games.
Uncharted, that's what it was.
Well, maybe not all of them, but I think like the first one or something.
Maybe it was last month that they gave away The Last of Us in preparation of The Last of Us 2, which is finally coming out next month.
So, and Journey's a great release right now. So if anyone's like, what's a good stress-free game?
Journey
like
is
a
beautiful.
Game. It's like meditative. Journey's one to pick up, and they just released on Steam too, so you can play it on Steam.
Now, really quick, do you have to have the PS Gold to get those free, or is it free for everybody?
I think you have to have Plus.
Or whatever it's Xbox Live Gold.
The Golden Week sale games are anybody, but if you want those games for free, you have to have PS Plus. Although I think
really,
Journey.
See, I don't have PS Plus, so I may try it, and I'll see, because I
recommend it greatly for a lot of reasons. One, the sales are better.
PS Plus.
Yeah, the monthly games are always nice to have. Like, I have a ton of games I just have because of PS Plus, and also it auto saves, or it auto like stores a lot of your data and save data, which is really important because I had a PlayStation 4 issue with the hard drive that could not be fixed. And it wiped my hard drive completely. All that data was gone. hours and hours I put into games that were gone. But if I had PS Plus, it wouldn't have happened. So now it's like a forever for me.
Yeah, I highly recommend everyone get PlayStation Plus. Like,
I used to have it when it was like $30 a year.
you can sometimes find it on sale for $49.99.
Yeah.
Yeah, Newegg usually does a
I
big
just-
sale like at the end of the year or something.
Well, I think my issue is I just don't play video games as much as I used to. Like literally, I turn on my PS4. It's hilarious because my buddy Kyle always calls me out on it. Because I play my Switch. It's so much easier, especially when you have kids. But my PS4, I've used it for Netflix. I've used it for HBO Go. That's what gets the most play. And then I started playing this again with my kids because they've been home. So I started playing Last Guardian with them, and
That's a great game.
I love that game. Yeah.
Well,
And then when
and Melanie's been playing.
oh yes, so Melanie's
Seven.
actually using Final Fantasy VII. She's I think chapter 30.
Don't say chapter number. That's spoilers.
Really? Okay.
Then we know how far along the game is.
Apparently,
Okay.
Aerith dies.
Talking about spoilers.
Oh my
Just
gosh,
kidding.
the game has been out 5 million years. We can talk about where she is in the Midgar,
Here's the thing, man.
except for
If-
the
if
last
you're-
like 4 hours.
If you're a real fan of Final Fantasy VII, you've already beaten it by now. Just saying, Rob. I'm not calling you out or anything.
The thing is, though, you're absolutely right. If you're a real fan of quote unquote real fan,
You're
of
wearing a Final Fantasy VII shirt from the original release.
look at the back. Look at the back. Look at the back. Look at that. That's dope.
You've never washed that shirt.
You're incorrect. It is very it is very washed because it's very, very light. But the other thing is, though, there are people who have not played the original Final Fantasy VII who don't know what this is, who are jumping into it. I don't know if any of those people are going to be watching this or on this chat, but maybe they don't know. So I've been trying to I actually did complete the game. We'll talk about that later. I did complete the game, but it's been really I don't want to say.
Well, yeah, we can't.
Oh, I'm not gonna get into spoilers. I was just messing around. I don't know any.
We can talk about where she is in the game, though.
I watched my wife play, and it is beautiful. I love the voice acting, both in. Actually, you know what? I prefer Tifa's voice in English because her Japanese voice is almost too playful, too kiddish for her character. But the English voice actress, man, she's pretty solid. And Aerith too. I like both
yeah.
actually. I like
The
both the
dub
Japanese and the.
Throughout is very good, and the character development's very good. And I know that Rob was really worried about Barrett, and so I've been interested to wait and see what he thought about Barrett. But I thought Barrett was way more fleshed out. Every time I cried in the game, it was because of Barrett. He's doing normal things because I love him so much.
Marlene. So look, there's a feels right there. So actually, Manny, let's talk about this before we talk about the Hall stuff, because as you know, when we played the demo game, I was very hard on Barrett. Very
Right,
hard.
because the original, the way Barrett was localized here in the U.S. Was a little problematic, right?
Yeah,
and I know that
really.
you were really that was something. Yeah, we talked about the demo.
I'm very upset, because the initial demo, the initial hour of the game is what the demo is, and he's very much back into that Mr. T. Check out this shit right here. Blah, 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 blah. Let me meet that ass. I'm like, seriously, have we not progressed in the 23 years that this game's going on? So yes, in the demo, it's a little stereotypical Black Preacher-esque, but as the game goes on, I felt a lot better. I was not offended because, he's still cursing.
Cute.
But
afraid of heights, and he's just a big dork.
I've heard
Yeah.
one of the complaints of the game, if you play it in English and you have kids, is the overabundance of language.
Words, yeah.
Well, and it's because the original was like that, right? But in the original, it wasn't spoken dialogue; it was things you read.
Yeah.
And actually, I think this one has more. But I had a friend of mine, me and my
Eric
wife.
Shit.
Yeah, she sure did. So I played the Final Fantasy VII game with the girls, and again, Barrett curses and they curse sometimes. So I'm reading it, and they can read, but they can't read as fast as me. So I'll be like, "Oh, daggone it! You have to open this door. Shoot, you did this right. It was fine." So then I start playing this game, and it is foul language everywhere. Shit, ass. Oh, those terrible words I'm saying. So I'm like, oh my gosh. But they want to see every cutscene. They're like, "Daddy, come get me when the cutscene comes out." I'm like, okay. So what I tried to do is when they were cursing, I turned on subtitles, and every time I see a cuss word coming up, I say something. Whoa, that was crazy. Oh, wow. Are you looking at that? That's but sometimes they slip in a golly darn it before I could catch it. And I'm like, okay, here it is. My kids are going to be cursing. But fortunately, I would say, so we went all the way through the game, and they have yet as of a week after finishing this, they have not said any curse words. So my suggestion is, if you have kids and they want to see it, because they want to see every single scene, turn the voice volume down a little bit, turn on subtitles, and talk over, and then it's fine.
I will say my youngest loves watching my wife play it. Like, she was upset, I'm not going to say who, when a certain character passed away, right? And she was like, what? Are they going to come back? And my wife was like, no, I don't think so, honey. Because, it's a little different than the original game.
Yeah, because their first time. Yeah, because this game, they're like, hey, these people die, but how would you like to be more attached to them? Because now they are more fleshed out.
I forgot about that, Omar. So, yes, an event occurs and someone does not do well during said event. And so I'm playing this, I'm like, okay, I wasn't expecting that. And I look over and my kid is bawling. The 7-year-old is bawling her eyes out. And I'm like, okay, what is she crying about? Because she was playing Animal Crossing, so I thought she had accidentally sold like something or couldn't catch a butterfly. No, she was bawling because of X event that occurred to X character that was not good. So she's bawling. And then my 5-year-old starts crying too. It's like, it's such and such dead, and she starts crying too. I'm like, oh my god, they don't know what's happening. So I'm like, how do I deal with this? So yeah, lots of crying, but
they gotta learn.
Shoo! And I need to teach them. Like right now, they don't like Sephiroth. They think Sephiroth's kind of a jerk. Like,
I mean,
yeah, kind of Sephiroth's kind of an ass. So yeah, It thoroughly enjoyed Final Fantasy VII. I don't know if I think it's better than Dragon Quest XI, but Dragon Quest XI was 150 hours versus 60 on this one, so, whatever. But as a fan of Final Fantasy VII, I like everything they did. Matt, exactly what you said, really fleshing out the characters. Mm-hmm. I only thought some of the worlds were kind of filler-esque. Like, sometimes you're running in the city, or running in the sewers, or running around. It's like, okay, you all could have shortened that, but again, we're trying to make a 40-hour RPG, so I understood the filler-ish type things, but overall, I really enjoyed it. And one other thing, I'd like you to, maybe you all can contribute to this. With Final Fantasy VII Remake, everything is done for you. It's in your face. You don't have to imagine anything. We're currently playing through Dragon Quest V, like the original Super Famicom Dragon Quest V. And when you do things like get on a boat, like you just push the icon and you're on a boat and the little icon sails and that's it, right? In Final Fantasy VII Remake, when we did things like that, it was just a little representation. But this is like fully fleshed out. So what are you guys' thoughts on the player's imagination now actually being thrown out and us just seeing it? What do you think is better? Like us putting imagination?
Think that takes away anything for me.
It's like watching. I'm gonna compare it. This is gonna show our age, but I'm gonna compare it to music videos. You listen to a song for so long, you got the story in your head. Music video didn't really, take away that story from you. Right?
People are still going to play this and imagine things after. I mean, look at all the fan art that's come from this. Like, already. From new players and old players. Like, fan art and fan fiction again. Like, it's all coming back. Like, everyone is already imagining all these, like, different things that could be happening while this is going on. I don't think it detracts from the experience at all.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with Maddie. Have you noticed something when you play it, Rob? Like, were you like, that's not the way I always pictured it?
Not really that. I'm going back to the kids and their imagination, because, like, again, we played the original 7 quite a bit before we switched to this, and they were like drawing pictures on what they thought like things would do, and then with Dragon Quest V, they were drawing their own versions of this. But with Final Fantasy VII, they didn't remake. They just like watched the videos rather than be like, oh, this is what I think is happening, or this is how this would look if this was happening in like real life or whatever. So I thought it's interesting.
I can't imagine too many people that haven't played the original one playing the original one too, though. Like, because I think there's a lot of nostalgia with that, right? Because that game, unfortunately, has not aged well. With the exception of the backgrounds, right? The backgrounds are still beautiful, but the polygon and the pixelated characters, they kind of look like a mess.
Different art styles, yeah. Like,
it's the hardest one to, like, visually for new players to play out of all the Final Fantasies, I'd argue.
Yeah, I would say so. And even the cleaned up PC version that, has it all fleshed out, it looks really janky, I guess is the best way to put it. Final Fantasy VIII does a little bit as well. But I think 7 is just hard.
It aged a lot better, though.
Yeah, I agree with that. Okay.
Is it worth getting the deluxe edition? That's the one my wife ended up with. Rob
Well,
has.
let's take a look, Mr. William. Here's the deluxe edition.
It's up to you. There's extra summons you get, and I do
I
kind of wish
did
I
not.
had them.
I did not use those summons. I wanted to beat the game clean without any DLC.
Wait, the deluxe editions let you download extra summons?
Yes.
Oh, that's cool.
So, whatever version I got the Choco Chick, but I don't have the Cactuar and Carbuncle.
Yeah. So this one
But
came with.
Carbuncle is real janked, so I'm not mad about it.
I ordered mine from the Squeenix store, and the Squeenix store included those three. The one was in the box. I think the Cactuar is actually in the box, and then the other two you went to your order form and that's how you got the other two. But like Maddie said, I didn't want to use them, so I didn't beat the game with them. Now after you complete the game, this is not a spoiler. You get to go through and choose whatever chapter you want, so you can go back and go do stuff. So now that I'm doing stuff again, I went ahead. I'm going to go. I haven't yet. I'm going to turn them on and turn the other summons. But yeah, I recommend the
So,
deluxe version.
The
It's cool
edition
stuff.
that you got, did you get the soundtrack and everything too?
Yes, yeah.
I'm really curious to see if the soundtrack has the other music discs that are included in game. Like the other versions of like Cosmo Canyon and the Hip Hop Chocobo song.
Hip Hop Chocobo.
I love the Hip Hop Chocobo song.
First time I heard it, I was like, "What am I listening to? This is the hottest fire I've ever heard." I thought
so
somebody was
good.
playing music down the road.
It's so good.
I'll add that I'm a big fan, whether I like a Final Fantasy game or not. I've always been a big fan of the music, and the music in 7
No Hip Hop Chocobo.
didn't grab me as much as the others. I like the original 7 had, I think, like 3 tracks that I really enjoyed. Of course, Sephiroth being one of them.
Yeah.
But the remix one, this new game, is freaking beautiful. Yeah,
They did a very good job.
Aerith's theme's always been pretty, but there are other themes in there that they've remixed or that they have touched up that I think are really beautiful.
I will say that I bought the Final Fantasy VII soundtrack. I think it's actually over there, way back in the day.
Four discs. Yeah, 4 discs. That's the one. Longer than the game. More discs than the actual game. I have that too.
Which is funny, right? And I liked the music of Final Fantasy VII, but I didn't like it as much as Final Fantasy VI and Final Fantasy IV and Chrono Trigger. Those soundtracks.
I didn't even like it as much as like Final Fantasy IX music. The Final Fantasy IX music I thought was solid.
And 10 and 12, 13. Okay, I'm going to stop. I love all Final Fantasy music, but 7 I didn't think was strong.
I have a lot of nostalgia with this because it was my first game.
Yeah, that's a big thing.
You know, like I tell a story on the show all the time, but like, you know, my dad took me to the store. He said, like, I'm gonna buy you a PlayStation. You get to pick 2 games, and I picked Lunar Silver Star Story Complete
Good choice.
and Final Fantasy VII. And so for me, this is my nostalgia. This is my Final Fantasy VI for a lot of people. And I love all the music. I think they did a good job of like upgrading some of the less attractive soundtracks. Because I like a lot of the soundtracks, but it's nostalgia. They're not always very good. But they really leveled it up in a way that was very appealing. And it's so good.
Yeah, I was listening to the 4-disc original soundtrack, and I found myself skipping a lot of these tracks. Like, this is
That's what I remember doing that because I think there were only like 4 or 5 that were really, really good. I've always liked the battle music, and I love the way they remixed it here for different events.
Yes,
right?
Yeah.
It's really cool.
I agree with Maddie. I believe that some of the lesser tracks actually sound so much better now. Like the whole soundtrack is fantastic. There you go, Spoonie Bar, Final Fantasy IV. This man is a classic rock 78.
He's got garbage filled kids, so you know he's old like us.
The only downside is that we didn't get to hear the dun 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 a lot, but Barrett sings it.
And
we do get the classic poses in the arena, which I'm glad that there's a place for that because I did want to see that. And everyone does their very classic poses. I was like, that's good. And man, you know, playability of all the characters too, not to just keep talking about just 7.
No, go ahead.
Everyone plays really well. Like I was talking to a friend who plays 7. I was watching his live stream. I'd already beaten it. And I was like, why aren't you using Barrett? Barrett just like mows down entire. I use Barrett all the time. Like he's my main guy. And that was not the case in the original because the way that his character plays, he can just wipe out a whole field so quickly. Like he's so good.
Yeah.
Like I really like playing as each character. There's a reason to now.
Yeah, I also really enjoy like Final Fantasy 15. 1, 2, 3. Final Fantasy 15. The battle system I thought was okay, fun, but I didn't really get drawn into it like I did with
This
like
is a
13.
way more polished 15.
This is
I was
much
worried
better.
it was going to be like 15.
How are you
which I
guys
like.
playing it? Which fighting system are you using?
new
Normal,
one.
default, whatever it's called. Yeah. And it
15 was a little confusing though.
this makes me want to give 15 another go and try and actually finish it as it's supposed to be done. But if I was like you, I was like, I don't know how I feel about this real time attacking thing. But then once you learn and get into it and learn to switch your characters, it works out well.
It makes sense. It makes sense that the ATB would fill up and you have stuff to do while you're waiting.
Yeah.
So I think they did a really good job of melding the two. And because I was really cautious about that. But they did a really good job.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pumped for more. I don't care what they do. There's obviously something is a little bit different that I can't talk about that may affect how the next couple games go. Because it looks like we're only getting maybe 2.
Yeah.
I think the way that they're doing things is they're doing it so they can kind of condense it, maybe.
Yoshinori Kitase was talking about how initially he doesn't know, or I guess not just he, but the team doesn't exactly know how many they're going to be. But he was talking about instead of doing a big, huge release, smaller releases. And then he was also talking about maybe it being a trilogy, which, if PlayStation 5 is right around the corner, so maybe that's going to be a thing where this is going to be the last PlayStation 4
It's going to be like we did with Kingdom Hearts. We're going to have like a whole other, like, here's the new big release of all of Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah,
I would buy it.
Yeah, exactly. I suspect that we'll have 2 more releases of this to finish it off, because even though the original game was 3 discs, the 3rd disc was just the last fight and just video. So So,
I know it's going to be such a crazy different system once we get into World Map.
Yeah.
So I'm not upset at all that this is condensed in Midgar. It was very well fleshed out, and I've totally enjoyed the ride. Minus like one thing that I can't talk about.
We have to talk about this later, because I think I know what you're talking about.
That was very Nomura, and he should stick to character designing, and just only do that. But anyway.
I know. We'll talk about that later.
Is there
video.
A possibility for this game to be on the Switch, or is it too big of a game?
It's unreal. If Dragon Quest XI can make it on Switch, it'll take time. But
Dragon Quest XI is a little bit different, right? Because Dragon Quest XI has the 2D sprites, almost kind of graphics like a cartoon. This, like the graphics on the PS4 look amazing on each of the main characters, right? I don't want to say the side characters. Some of the mouths when they move and the side characters are crazy. By the way, before we go further, there's a couple things here in the chat. Number one, my boy Mama Mia is back with his bananas, and I believe it's the Elvis Presley sandwich, right? It was banana, peanut butter, and bacon. I think wasn't that the Elvis Presley? I think I've had that in Tennessee. It's
not good.
Okay. It sounds delicious. It's wonderful. Streets of Rage is so much easier when you're playing social distance mode, because Gabriel asked, are you playing Streets of Rage 4? I am waiting for my physical copy from Limited Run Games, so I haven't played it yet. And damn, Streets of Rage 2 for life, dude. Streets of Rage 2 for life. Hold
on now. What about Streets of Rage 3?
What's a better soundtrack, though?
The best soundtrack is Streets of Rage 2.
Of course.
That's not even argumentative.
Who had the little black boy on skates?
That would be Streets of Rage 2. I don't have an argument with this.
Who had the boxing kangaroo though?
Oh, that was Streets of Rage 3.
So it's like they both had their own little things. Boxing kangaroo was awesome.
Streets of Rage 3 had a bunch of censorship, some character sprites were completely switched out. They swapped color palettes. The music is still used.
Wait! Before you go on Streets of Rage 3, here's an excellent question from Roz, our boy Roz. Which version?
There you go. Okay. Thank you, Roz. You're understanding what I'm trying to say. Bare Knuckle 3 was a much better game than Streets of Rage 3. Bare Knuckle 3 is the Japanese equivalent. And that's the one that had the characters. There was there's some cross-dressing characters. The girls looked more like women and they were dressed more scantily clad. The music is the same and consistent across them both. But then there's weird color palettes. They did some weird localization things in Streets of Rage 3, which I'm not some things I understand because we're talking about the 90s, we can't have a cross-dressing boss. Sure, fine, whatever. That's not actually true, but whatever. But the color palette changes, I don't understand what they were doing there. So Bare Knuckle 3 is what I've played recently, not Streets of Rage 3.
All right, so let's get while we wait on Maddie, let's get into our little haul here because we're about halfway done with the episode.
Oh, we're already done with the episode.
So
All right, let me go first.
Why don't you go first? Because a lot of people are wondering where you got something, and
Okay.
Go ahead, man. Go on with what you got.
What you got? So we've talked a whole lot about Final Fantasy VII, and if you watch our last haul, was that a month ago? Was that really a month ago? Oh my God.
Every day is the same since all this started.
I didn't realize. Okay, sure. Okay. Yeah, apparently time is just an abstract. I didn't understand.
Maddie.
What's up, Maddie?
I had some packages come in, so I had to bring them in.
Ooh.
Sure.
It's wine and a plant and an order from Target.
Still,
big one, right?
All right, what did you get, Rob? We're looking at Rob's little haul here.
So this is talking. Final Fantasy came out April 10th, so this is officially the haul that I should talk about this. But if you want to see details, then look at the last month's haul. So here's the mini soundtrack that came in the box with some of the tracks. You can pause the frame on that. The deluxe edition art book. I didn't look at this very much at first because I didn't want to be spoiled, and still not going to do that. There's pretty art in here. Chocobos, little stories, and Delvernos. That's nice. Steelbook. I'm a sucker for a steelbook.
Yeah, you are. You own a lot of crappy games because they came out in Steelbook.
It has the old and new art. Manny, how many snapshots did you take when you were playing this game? I held the snapshot button for gigabytes.
I didn't because I don't know anything about that.
Oh, okay.
I'm still upset that all this equipment didn't come in until after I started the game. Like, oh man, I would have streamed this whole thing.
Here's the Cactar.
Thank you so much for the comment from Brazil. By the way, the only time I ever take snapshots is when I fat finger something because I don't know what a snapshot even is. Like when I'm holding the controller.
And here's the reverse.
I don't even know what that is for.
It's to look at the pretty art. Oh, yeah. If anyone ever looks at my hard drive, like, hey, what's this Final Fantasy folder? They're going to be totally spoiled.
I gotta jump off. I've got yoga. Bye.
Oh, okay. Have fun, Maddie.
Thanks, Maddie. Appreciate your Final Fantasy. She's gone. They don't let you take any snapshots of the final chapter of this, which is to prevent people from accidentally uploading pictures, I guess. So that's wise. So
see, I'm the other way around. D Chewy too. I bought the physical. I have to wait months until the physical gets here, and now I'm tempted to get the digital because my brothers and I love Streets of Rage. Is it 2 or 3 player?
Isn't it 4?
Oh shit! Is
it 4?
4
someone in the comments help me out. I think it's 4 players. It's at least 2. It's at least 2.
Well, I knew it was 2.
And so, Omar, I too, like you, went for the physical edition from Limited Run Games, but I wanted to play the game now because I am a huge, as we talked about, I'm a huge Streets of Rage 1, especially 2 and 3 fan. So it was on sale for the best week. But so it's still a couple bucks off. So if I were you, I would just get the digital version because Limited Run guys, they are also in quarantine, so they're not distributing things. So you're not.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't have. Yeah, there's a lot of things like Mighty Switch Force and things like that. Yeah. So Gabriel brings up something that came out a couple of weeks ago. There were leaks of the ending of Last of Us 2, which led to them saying, "Okay, we're gonna release this in June." So, Rob, why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Let's talk a little bit about this. So, Neil Druckmann actually released on Instagram either last night or this morning, hey, the game is gold, it's finished. The release date, I believe, is June 17th. June 17th. If it's not June 17th, it's June 19th. Whichever one of those two is a Friday. So, there have been some leaks and things, people posting videos of some of the pre-release material, and if you want to get into a nerdy discussion, we can talk about how that happened. But the point is, some stuff was out on Amazon servers. They were able to pull it down. It's some pre-release footage. If you've seen that footage, please don't share it. Don't talk about it because out of context, I mean, some spoiler points have been hit, but out of context, and when you encompass the whole game, I don't think we have anything to worry about. So I know some people have had a chance to play this game to its fruition all the way through, despite the things that have occurred, and it's supposed to be one of the highlights of video game storytelling, bar none. If you play the original Last of Us, you know that actually could be something real. Because Last of Us, even though I'm a Japanese gamer, Last of Us, it might be my top 5 games of all time, and I'm talking about like East and Zelda and Mario. Like it's way, way, way high. So I have full faith. There's it. I thought it was 4 local. Thank you, hip hop.
2 online.
All right.
And really quick, I think both Rob and I can answer. I got the Genesis cart on the Switch version.
Yes,
Is that what you got too?
That's what I got too. There was $150 edition. It came with a ton of stuff. I couldn't do it.
Is that what we ordered last week? Is that what it was?
Yeah, the $150 one was the one that came out last week. And
I couldn't do it. I remember I almost got Rob into doing that one. I'm like, do that one, man. I'll get the Genesis version. You can unbox.
And I was like, dude, we're still under quarantine lockdown budget. That's not going to happen. So, yeah, I would not. First of all, stay away from any Last of Us spoilers and leaks, and just try and stay away from all that stuff. Because I think when the game actually is released, and you start and play the game, rather than just look at videos, but actually play the game and experience it, I don't think you'll be disappointed. So I'm not worried. Things out of context, things from dev footage. Like, as someone who's done this, exactly what they're talking about, but our footage wasn't leaked. Context videos out of context and early builds and lighting's not baked in and I wouldn't worry about it. Stay true. Get the game when it comes out June 17th.
All right. Really quick, I'm going to talk a little bit about my haul. I'm going to give a shout out to my buddy Kyle, who sent some awesome games my way. One that I already beat, and that is Owlboy. If you've never played Owlboy, it is freaking beautiful with wonderful music, and it's a 2D sprite game. And I'm currently playing Rad Rogers Radical Edition. I don't know if anybody's played this, but
What is that?
it's a 2D side scroller, man. It's a lot of fun. I think I enjoyed Owlboy more. I know I enjoyed Owlboy more because I beat this in one day, and then this one here I'm still going through. But I've been doing a lot of reading lately too. So this one you can unlock Duke Nukem in it. So it's crazy because this one you can put in kid mode and in adult mode. Adult mode just balls to the wall cursing, like sexual jokes everywhere. Considering you're a little child with a video game system like as a partner, it's a little weird. I don't know. He also got me Everspace. This is the Stellar Edition, so I'll be playing that next. And myself. Well, you know what? I don't have anything else. So I'm just gonna save that one for last.
Slow down. Then I'll do another one. I'll do another one.
Nah, you go ahead, man. You go ahead and do it because I don't have much. I just have this, man. Okay. Everspace and
your slave save. Look, Mr. Tomberry. Order spawns.
TurboGrafx because your video. Now I'm waiting for man. I have reached out to Image. So who knows, dude? Like I'm hoping that somebody will forward that to McFarlane so he can be like, yeah, let's make more of those. I like money.
Let's see. Michael Eman says, if you can highlight his comment, I don't like cursing, and Angel listens to me every time someone curses. So, Michael, I'm right there with you. When I'm playing a video game and I hear, although there are a couple times where Bear was like, man, Cloud, I was just scared your little skinny ass is going to blow off. Shit. Like, that made me laugh out loud. That made me laugh. But in general, I'm not a fan of cursing in my video games.
I don't care. I can go either way.
In Final Fantasy, I can literally push a button.
It depends,
and
right?
Check out this shit right here, beat that ass. Like that's literally me pushing the triangle button. Like that's like why? So I'm with you. I'm not, even though this is probably the most foul language I've ever used in any episode of.
I know you're doing is just quoting things,
and I'm just quoting the games. I'm not even saying the things myself.
And I think anybody that knows me knows I'm pretty foul. So,
all right. So next game.
What do you got?
Okay. Also, that came out in April 3rd, I believe. This was April was pretty light month.
Oh no, dude, classic rock. I love Bulletstorm. The same guys that did Gears of War. I love that shit.
Language. So this is.
I don't even know. How do you play games like GTA then?
I send the children to bed. Death Stranding didn't have as much language. I was able to play that around the kids, although that's a different thing. And Red Dead Redemption, that really didn't have that much language. Red Dead Redemption, I mean, of course they curse, but not as much as Final Fantasy, which that should not be the case.
All right, so what are we holding here? You have two versions of Resident Evil 3.
No, this is Resident Evil 3, and this is using the same Resident Evil, the RE engine that was used in Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 7. So this game looks absolutely fantastic. This is just an empty metal box that Best Buy was giving out when you get the game. So on this side, we have Nemesis. Sorry about the glare. There's Nemesis.
Stars.
And then
does he still do that?
Yes, it does. And this is Fine Joe Valentine. There you go. So that's that. And this game, all right. So, and then also what's cool about this comes with Resident Evil Resistance or Project Resistance, Resident Evil Resistance. And this is a 4-player 4 versus 1 online experience. So it's kind of like Friday the 13th, the game, except like it's using Capcom budget and assets and stuff like that. And it's not bad. You have like your Taskmaster who is putting scary things in front of the 4 survivors that are trying to get through the gauntlet. That's fine. But this game itself, like, I enjoyed this game. I enjoyed Resident Evil 3. But I didn't enjoy Resident Evil 3, the original PlayStation release of Resident Evil 3, as much as I enjoyed Resident Evil 2. And that is still true with this. This remake, I did enjoy, like Resident Evil 2 last year, which I can't believe it's only been a year since it came out, was wonderful, fantastic. Loved it, played all the way through, ripped through it. This one, I was not as stoked. Now, I don't know if it's because the environments aren't quite as big and it's open, or it's more linear, or it's a little bit easier, or Nemesis. I thought Nemesis would act like Mr. X in Resident Evil 2, and he doesn't. Like, there's a lot of random elements with Mr. X that I enjoyed. This is a little bit more scripted. I'm not sure. So, let's see. I loved it, but it sold it immediately after finishing far too short. Maybe that's it too. So, like, this game is something that you should buy. This is a lot of fun. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. It might be better looking, even though it's the same engine. It might be better looking than Resident Evil 2 Remake. But
so here's a good question for you and everybody in the chat, because both of you and I are fans of Resident Evil.
Oh yeah.
What's your favorite one? For me, it's that one that you're holding. I love Resident Evil 3.
Resident Evil 3, really? That's your favorite one? Why?
Dude, because maybe it's the fond memories of playing it with a couple of my friends and throwing the controller across the room every time it shook when you heard stars, and I was like, fuck that game.
I'm out of here.
Maybe it has a lot to do with it. It was a different pace than Resident Evil 2. Resident Evil 2 to me felt a little bit slower compared to 3. But I'm curious, in the chat, what's your favorite one? I think most people are going to say 4. Right.
So for me,
4 are 2 of the popular answers.
The answer for me is.
Yeah, Rob, what are you gonna say?
I was gonna say Resident Evil 4, but replaying Resident Evil 2 remake and remembering how much I love Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 4 is such a different game. It's still like horror and things like that, but it's very more action-y versus tank controls and the slower pace of Resident Evil 1 and 2, which I thoroughly enjoyed. I love that pacing. But then we have Resident Evil 7, which was so good and so scary and frightening, especially in VR. Like, man, I don't know if I can answer this question right this second. So it's a toss-up between 4, 2, and 7 for me.
You can never just have one answer.
I can't pick between my 3 children either.
I can. So it's funny because I don't think anybody ever says like 5 or 6 are the best ones, right?
Garbage.
Nobody ever says Resident Evil 6. I remember you and I texting back and forth because we give each other shit behind the scenes. And when Resident Evil 4 was announced, you were like, "No, dude, they're making your people evil. What's scarier than zombies? A bunch of Latinos speaking gibberish." And I did the same thing when Resident Evil 5 came out. Yo, Rob, they're making all the black people really evil in Resident Evil 5.
Maybe that's why you don't like Resident Evil 4, because you're like hurting your people. Maybe that's why I don't like Resident Evil 5, because I'm hurting my people.
I can't even understand what the hell, like, in Resident Evil 4, what they're saying half the time. I'm just running away, man. I love Resident Evil 4. But Codename Veronica, somebody brought that up in the chat right now. That game is solid, too.
Yeah. Okay, see, I saw a question up here. Shoot. What did you say? So it's about Resident Evil 4. Would you buy a remake of 4 if it was announced? And would you change? What could they change?
What would you even change?
Okay, all right. So first of all,
controls.
Yes, they have announced a remake of Resident Evil 4. It's a rumor. They haven't officially announced it, but there is a rumor that this project is being worked on by the what are they called? M2? M2? It's not M2 like the people who do the emulation. It's the M2 as in like the original Shinji Megami, and I forgot the other gentleman's name. They were supposed to form a company together, and they did not. So, but I think that company is actually working on Resident Evil 4 remake. So, what could they change? Hopefully, nothing other than the graphic. Although the graphic because Resident Evil 4 is on PlayStation 4.
It's still solid.
It still looks really good. Now, that was a GameCube era game, and if you didn't have a GameCube at that point, like you your bias against Nintendo is just overwhelming. Because Resident Evil 4 on GameCube was stunning, and it still looks good today. As like I said, it's on PlayStation 4, and it's still.
Oh man, look at this answer. I prefer a remake of Dino Crisis.
That'll
What's
happen.
up? What's up? There were 2 of them, right? Dino Crisis 1 and 2. That was it? No, there was a 3. Wasn't there?
There's not 3. There's definitely 1 and 2. There may have been 3. I don't know.
I think a third one was it the Dreamcast? Maybe. Let's see. If only I had the power of the internet.
Power of the internet in your hand. So Resident Evil 4 remake is supposed to come. Hopefully they just do what they've been doing with Resident Evil 2.
Oh, Xbox. That's why you didn't play it. My man. See, look at that. Look at that. Look at that.
Great.
You done been told. I remembered. I just couldn't remember the system.
So if you go to my closet and see so you can see all these Nintendo games, all these PlayStation games. The Xbox section is like this big.
You didn't, but man, Xbox had like Panzer Dragoon, like the new one, right? And it had Dino Crisis and things like that.
I mean, very literally, you could say that the Xbox was the Dreamcast too, because a lot of the development resources and Sega ports and things like that went directly to the Xbox. So I should have more Xbox games than I do, but I got all the Sega stuff: Crazy Taxi, Panzer Dragoon, Jet Set, not Jet Grind, Jet Set Radio. Like I got all the Sega games, and then like Ninja Gaiden, and then that was it. Like again, my Xbox section is that big. But now that you say I need to get Dino Crisis, maybe I'll see if I can track it down for $2 somewhere.
And Halo, that's it. Halo. They're the only ones in America that had SNK versus Capcom.
Yeah, and I have that.
Not Capcom versus SNK. SNK versus Capcom.
I have it on Neo.
So, yeah, well, right. That didn't count. Right. Otogi games were great. Yeah, man, Xbox had some pretty good games.
Sega made an agreement with the Dreamcast and they used Microsoft EE. So if you look on certain games that when you boot them on the Dreamcast, you can see Microsoft CE, which is their embedded operating system that they were using underlying. I think Sega Rally used it. So yeah, the Xbox One is, as far as I'm concerned, the Dreamcast 2. Favorite character?
What a good question. I love these questions, guys. Rob can't ever pick one person.
No. Okay, so I am totally going to go in on this.
Rob's going to go with Leon. He wanted to grow his hair out like Leon.
Resident Evil 2, I played through first with Claire and then with Chris. When I played Resident Evil 3, I started with Jill and go through with Leon. Like, Jill is my girl. Like, that's it. All day.
I'm a Leon for me. And then Jill.
Really? You like Leon more than Jill?
Yeah, dude. Claire's awesome too, but I didn't have much of a choice. He wasn't in a lot. I'm a big Leon dude. But then Jill.
I don't want to say I didn't like Leon. I actually think that Leon's character is a bit more interesting in this edition, which again, with using real models and higher resolutions and sure. But DC Chewy 2 has it all the way. Jill all the way. That's what's up. Barry, where's Barry?
Nobody likes Barry, especially if you played it in English for the first time.
Yeah, you were
no Evil Revelations 1 and 2 love. Not really. I wasn't a big fan of those.
Wasn't my
dude. What did you think of Devil?
Hold on, but I will give Revelations props in the fact that this is the first when I saw the Resistance came out or was coming out. I was like, this is like Revelation. So there is a project. There's a homebrew project where people have put together Revelation servers, and you can modify your game so you can connect the servers. You can still technically play Resident Evil Revelations 1 and 2. So if you hadn't, you should get to your hacking, put on your hacking hat, and try and do that. Yes, that's exactly correct. Devil May Cry was supposed to be Resident Evil 4, but then the team split. It was too actiony, but then Resident Evil 4 was too actiony.
Devil May Cry 1 and 3 were solid. 2 is forgivable, but it's
and
not that good.
2 came out on the Switch, and like why would you even release 2 on the Switch?
Why not just release a collection? Like if you want 2 to sell, like make it into a collection. You're not going to get people to buy. You're going to put, like, Devil May Cry. You know, it's going to be DMC 1 and 3 and maybe 4. Yeah. People would rather play the remake. What's the dude with the black hair that was Dante when they redid it? It was on the PS3. Yeah, it was just DMC, right? People would rather play that than, like, Devil May Cry 2.
And Devil May Cry 5, when that came out, that was a great game. I played the snot out of that. That was a great game.
You know what I liked? Ashura's Wrath. Oh, nobody talks about that game. Ashura's Wrath was it was like playing an anime. I love that game, man. But anyway, back to the haul. This is what happens when we get distracted, man.
Right?
But it's also what happens when we're in quarantine. We don't get to catch up like we normally do.
Normally we talk like a month. All right, so here's another one. This is Cooking Mama.
We just lost half the views. What the hell is wrong? How do you go from Resident Evil 3 to Cooking Mama?
So I'm glad you asked this question. There's a bit of controversy about Cooking Mama. Some people erroneously said that there was because the publisher a year ago talked about, we could put some Bitcoin data mining in the game, and like, no, that was just talk. They didn't actually do that. In fact, people have gone through the code. There's not Bitcoin crypto mining in this game. That's not the case. But let me tell you what the actual controversy is with this. This is a disagreement between a publisher and a development house. The development house went to the publisher and said, this is what we want to do for Cooking Mama. And they have these certain things in. Let me address this question right here. Why do you have this game? I have 3 children, and they love Cooking Mama. In fact, I have Cooking Mama plush. Oh shoot, I don't have it on my person. I
love these comments. Dear God.
There it is.
Oh,
I
Lord jeez.
I have a selfie with me and Cooking Mama at like E3. Like, I like Cooking Mama games; they're fun. And again, I have 3 young children. Yes, I'm a dad, right? So I'm going to let my kids play Cooking Mama. They were playing some version of Cooking Mama on the web, and like there's all these ads and popping up and things to install. I'm like, girls, if you want to play Cooking Mama, I'll just buy you Cooking Mama. We're not going to play this.
Yeah, just like that. Just came to the stream and I see Rob holding up Cooking Mama. I approve. There you go.
So I picked this up because of the controversy that the development house was like, we want to do these games with Cooking Mama, this type of style game. The publisher was like, okay, cool. Then they do it, and then the publisher's like, no, that's not what we're looking for. That's not the quality that we wanted. But no, I have it backwards. The publisher was like, whatever, we're going to put it out anyway. And then they did. And so like a couple of these trickled out into the world. I think you can still get this at like maybe GameStop or Kohl's or something like that. But is the game any fun? I don't know, because the girls are still playing Animal Crossing, and so when they're done with Animal Crossing, I will fire this up and let them play it and give it a shot.
I'm not gonna lie, I've got Cooking Mama on the DS, the 3DS. I don't know why, and Rob can tell you, like, sometimes I used to buy games just like him, just because I thought maybe one day I'll play it. I was lying to myself, but it never happened.
Yeah, I have.
They should have had a Cooking Papa.
No, that's men don't cook. There you go. That's sexism right there.
There's the sexism.
There's the sexism.
This is the real Rob.
I think I have Cooking Mama on the
Cooking Papa would have been like, your kids want some grilled cheese, and your shit is like
Cooking Papa is me when, like, the wife is working and like I have to do lunch. It's like, all right, grilled cheese and quesadillas for everybody. But Danny, we had it every day. Like, sorry, kids.
I don't know how they're doing it where you are, but here in where I live, the school systems are prepping kids' foods for a week, right? Yeah. If you're in NTI. So Melanie, my wife, works every other week at her job, and she's here at home. When she's not here at home, my kids are like, I'm driving over there. I'm pretty sure I can heat these tacos up in the microwave. My daughter's like, I wanted hard shell. I'm like, too damn bad. Mom's not here. You're getting soft shell corn tacos.
So let me be clear here, because Sean Sullivan says, Rob, I cook. My brother-in-law cooks. I know several guys that cook and are fantastic. At my house, I'm the one who tastes food and eats food and appreciates food. And I can taste this thing and be like, okay, this needs more paprika. This needs more tamarind. Like, I know those type of things, right? But me, I just don't have, like, the skill.
I think it has to do with it.
Like, I can make stuff, and I like to grill. Now, if we had grilling Papa, I can get down with grilling Papa, because that's fun. That's math to me, right? It, like, the feel of, like, the temperature and all that stuff. I can grill, but like me sitting in the kitchen, a bunch of ingredients in my face, make this. I'm like, give me instructions that I can do that. And I really respect and appreciate people who have the talent that can be given. Like, that's what we had for dinner last night. The wife looked at the fridge and goes, okay, I got it, and made this amazing meal of just stuff that she had found, and like I couldn't do that.
I will say that is a perfect game for people that don't like to cook.
Yeah.
And it's
that and like Overcooked too.
Overcooked and Overcooked 2. Those are games I was talking about. Are brilliant if you're like me and you just like yelling at your friends, like, bitch, get to cutting that. Like, talking to my brothers, like yelling at my brothers, cut that fucking lettuce. Like they're chopping the lettuce. I need these burgers done. It's like Hell's Kitchen, and it's me yelling. I can't play with my kids. My brothers, my friends, and I get into arguments. They're like, "Why are you yelling? You're so mean!" Like, and anybody, next time Tina, we get Tina on one of these, man. Tina is like, Omar is so mean when it comes to playing Overcooked. He's constantly making me cry. Dude, I love Overcooked and Overcooked, but I get too into it. Kind of like Mario Kart. You know how competitive I am in Mario Kart.
You're
so
too.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna rush in. Leroy Jenkins. Like, dude, that's not how you play these games.
I would make my brothers cry at Secret of Mana like all the time because I'm like, you didn't heal me. They would slam the door walking out of my room. I'm like, get the fuck out of my room. We're done. And then we were like, you want to try that boss again? I'm like, yeah, you better heal us though. All right, so really quick, speaking of games that I got to.
It says, are you still sad from breaking the seal in Final Fantasy VII? Yes, I am. But I played the game. I actually played the game all the way through, so it was wonderful and a little sad that the seal's broken, but yeah, I'll get over it. Go ahead, Omar.
All right.
I know, right? I did. And you asked about Streets of Rage 4, playing that too. Go ahead, Omar.
So here we go. Here's another game. This is Trine. This is the Trine collection, and I didn't know before I bought this that in the Trine collection you get the physical copy of Trine 4 and a digital download of 1, 2, and 3. That really pisses me off because I hate digital. But I'm a big fan of Trine. My brothers and I have beaten 1, 2. We're working through 3, and we're going to play 4 because, yeah, we're a big fan of co-op games, and we've been doing that for years. Ever since. And we're old school, so we don't do online, really, unless we have to during these times. And also because we're cheap. We only have to buy one card if we play it on somebody's system. But yeah, man, if y'all play Trine, this is a lot of fun. I think they're working on a new game. Is it Modus? Is that who did this? But they're working on another game right now. But I was a big fan of this series. It's a side scroller adventure type of game. But
yeah, I think I have this recollection of pre-ordering it from like Limited Run or someone. That seems super familiar to me. But maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe I'm thinking of the Japanese edition.
This one does come with a map. That's pretty cool. You don't see this anymore.
I know, right?
So I bought it because I think it was on sale at either Best Buy or Amazon for like $20 for all four. All 4 games. And that's upside down. This is why I can never get anywhere. There you go. That's cool. You don't see that very often. It's not cloth, right? Like Lunar, but it's still good.
Let's see. Matthew asks, I also saw you have Trials of Mana. I do have Trials of Mana. I think.
Why didn't you show that off? Because I haven't bought it yet. I'm waiting.
Honestly, I have Trials of Mana, but I don't see it. So maybe I'm having a pipe dream vision of Trials of Mana, or maybe I'm playing Seiken Densetsu 3 and don't want it. No, that's not the case.
No, Trials of Mana, the remake looks beautiful. Your hermanos live close by. They do. They live about an hour away, so they carpool down here, and we get together and play games. Like we've done Dragon's Crown. We've done arcade beat 'em ups. We were gonna do Streets of Rage 4, but I don't know how long this is gonna last. And then Trine is another one. We started doing the Secret of Mana remake, which is kind of hard to look at sometimes because it just feels like it should have been done better. And I want to say Trials of Mana is only 2 players, so we do 3 players or more on the same screen. We're big fans of that. So here's a good question for you from Matthew, man. If you want to read it out loud for people that are listening to this instead of watching.
Joy-Con drift is a real thing. Sounds like it would be a real hassle. So, yes, the drift is still a thing because the internal components are exactly the same as what's in a traditional Joy-Con. However, that said, I have yet to read anyone, maybe just because I haven't seen it yet, but I have not seen anyone complain about drift on their Switch Lite.
I haven't either. Is Nintendo still replacing them for free?
Yes. Although, the answer is yes, but currently they are not accepting, or if they are accepting, it's very limited. They're not doing like send off your stuff, we'll give it back. Like their customer service is stopped because and like we have our game on the Switch too, and like we were told, hey, it's going to take twice as long because there's only a skeleton crew of people doing like approvals and things like that. So if you have drift on something like this, they'll still get to it, but it's going to take a little bit longer. Now, the difference between me sending a Joy-Con off is I can get another Joy-Con, or I can use the Pro controller, which you should be using anyway. The Switch Lite, that's not an option. You can use a Joy-Con and a Pro controller, but there's no kickstand on the Lite, and it obviously doesn't plug into a TV, so it's just unwieldy. So if it needs to be fixed, you have to send it in. Now, I think I saw Linus Tech Tips or some video of somebody talking about, hey, here's a homebrew way of fixing that issue.
I tried.
Use
Don't do that.
alcohol. Don't it's better just to, if your Switch Lite is affected by this Joy-Con, and wait till Nintendo opens back up and send it off. But I have not heard of people with lights having this issue yet.
I was gonna say the one thing I did when I bought 2 Switch Lites for Christmas for my daughters, right? One each. They're 10 and 8. I also bought, and I think it's wonderful that Nintendo is switching them out, but it takes some time. But I also bought the warranty I bought them through GameStop, because it's like if you drop it and it cracks, they replace it, right? It's everything unless it gets stolen, they replace it. And I think that might be something you might be interested in, especially during this time. We don't know when everything is going to be open up, whatever normal is going to be after all is said and done. So if you want to go that route, get a little bit. I think it's only like $20-something a year or something like that for the extended warranty. But that's what I got, especially because I have kids, and I know, especially my youngest, loves playing like this with her Switch, and it makes me have a panic attack. But
you are brave, because my kids or my girls, they're playing Animal Crossing and everything on 2DSs, and 2DSs are just sturdy. But and again, they're 7 and 5. The baby wants one too. I haven't so far. The baby has been pacified, but me just giving her a controller that just counts and stuff. She's pacified.
Oh yeah.
They throw them around. They leave them on the couch. They jump on the couch. Like there's no chance I would give them a Switch that has like glass and expensive components. If they break their 2DS, okay, they lose their villages and things like that. But I can buy another 2DS for $80 or $50 or whatever, cheaper used. I just don't feel comfortable getting them something that expensive.
Well, it depends on the kind of kid that you have, though, right? Lydia's really responsible. Alicia, that's why I got the warranty, because she plays like this. She's 8 years old. She's dropped it once. Okay, so let's go through these. Shy Warriors playing God of War again and Red Dead Redemption.
Red Dead 2, so good. It should have won Game of the Year.
Raz is my man. He knows what Dragon Crown is. He loves Vanillaware. I was a big fan of Muramasa too. I got it on the Vita and on the Wii. Yeah, and Classic Rock, I Miss Lunar. 1 and 2. Not so much Song of Dragons or the Game Boy Advance one or the Cooking School one.
And I had the original one too. Play through, not play through, but started those games to make sure they work properly. And I was just covered by fields with "When all the land is peaceful."
Oh yeah, my kids only know the original Sega CD song. All right, what are we gonna do when GameStop busts? Damn it, Raz. This is a positive chat.
It's not gonna bust. They might. Okay, there's 6 GameStop locations in Lexington. They might shut down, but there'll still always be a GameStop somewhere. They're not going anywhere.
There was a patch that fixed the drift for Pro controllers on the Switch this week. I didn't even know there was a problem. I didn't know there was a problem either on the Pro. I know on the Joy-Cons there were. That's interesting.
There definitely was a patch that went out to controllers, and I thought it was for things like Ring Fit Adventure, which is what we've been playing regularly. I had not heard that it addresses. I haven't had any drift on my Pro controller.
I'm just messing, Raz. It's a really good question though. It's something that you think about, buying warranty at Circuit City a year before the thing went out of business.
I try to get warranties at Best Buy or GameStop, places that I know are going to be around. I think I did get a warranty at one time. I was like, well, never mind there.
Honestly, I would have gone the Amazon way, but I had a gift card. It was like a $50 gift card to Best Buy, and that's why I went that route. All right, Rob, we are hitting on about an hour. Why don't we go ahead and finish out your haul, and I can talk a little bit about what else I got that's video game related. You got some big stuff, so go ahead, man.
Well, actually, let's save that for next time. So I want to spend some time.
No. Go ahead.
You want me to do it?
Because people have been asking in the chat, and somebody, Eric, on our Facebook group, commented saying that if you get that, he put a link on it. You need the Hyperink AV adapter.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about the big things then. Let's do this real quick because we are at the hour. Well, I'll let you respect everyone's time, and my children will be melting down in just a second. So
I gotta go feed my kids some burnt grilled cheese sandwiches.
So what I have here is the TurboGrafx Mini, and for those that you don't know, one of my favorite games of all time is a game called East. Book 1 and 2, not Wise. I will kick you out of the chat if you say Wise. It is East Book 1 and 2, and that was played on the TurboGrafx CD and the TurboGrafx CD system. So this is a mini version of that. And what's cool about this, and also because I'm Rob, I also have the Japanese version as well, the PC Engine. And I probably could have not purchased these two, because at the time when I saw them, I was actually in Japan when these were released or available for pre-order. And I said, buy! And I saw the other one, I said, buy! I was like, I'll figure out what it is later. And it turns out they have exactly the same games, except I think Gradius is only on Gradius 2. It's only on
Pretty sure it's pronounced how Dan pronounces it, Rob. Wise.
Stab you in the heart face. And I think this one does not have Gradius. I think it has a couple of different
What's the roster on the Japanese version compared to the American version?
It's the same number of games. They just switched out two. So there's 57 games in this. And so some of the games, again, what they did, the reason I probably could have just gotten by with just buying one or another is better game roster. Depends. What is the name?
That's what I was wondering.
What is the name of the game where it's those naked dudes that are shooting? That's on here, and that's not on the American version.
Are you serious? They put that on there? I was just telling Melanie about that game. I had it on the Saturn. The naked wrestler muscle man.
Oh gosh, help me out, comments. But anyway, like the rosters, like I think you could probably get the American one because it has
Choaniki. Is that it?
Choaniki. That's it.
I was telling Melanie about that. And she was like, "What? There's muscular naked men." And it's a shooter. I'm like, yeah, I have it on the Saturn.
It's actually fun, like legit. So some of the games that are on here are Air Zonk, Dracula X, East, of course. That's another one. So the one when I should have brought these things over here, and I can still do it. I can still go grab them real quick. But one of the games that I got when I was a 16-year-old little black kid and no one had a TurboGrafx. I got an issue of Die Hard magazine. In fact, was a Japan video game, and I ordered Tenga Makyo 2, which is Far 2, and Dracula X, and Cosmic Fantasy 3, and all these Japanese games, and couldn't even figure out what it is. So, like, this has Far 2. And I figured out enough Japanese to get through, like, a quarter of this game in high school. Like, it was really fun. The music, cool characters, great art style. I love this. So this is on here. And again, there's Dracula right here. Air Zonk. Like, this is a complete package of great, fantastic games. So I know a lot of people did in the chat. Did you have a TurboGrafx? Did you have a PC Engine? Did you have any one of these systems? I'm the only one other than me and like I think my buddy Shane were the only people that had TurboGrafx systems, and the CD player I had that as well. So like this is not a nostalgia. This is a nostalgia trip for me, but for other people it could be like this is what I've never heard of these games before. I'm going to get a chance to play them. So things like Legendary Axe is really fantastic. Keith Courage is garbage. Let's not talk about that. The Gradius ports are really good.
Hey. For us poor kids that could only afford the TurboGrafx 16 through a yard sale, and all I was given was Keith Courage, you go to hell, sir. Keith Courage was awesome.
Keith Courage was hot garbage, and that was based on an anime property that I don't remember the name.
My mom and dad were like me, man. We would hit the jackpot every time we go to yard sales, right? Like I grew up poor. I don't ever hide that on the channel. And bitch, you had a TurboGrafx 16. Shut up. I
saved money. I didn't buy things and begged. I want to get these things for Christmas. I can get one cool thing for Christmas. So
you really want to have a pissing contest over who was more poor?
Are going to win, but don't try and say I was the rich kid. That was not the case.
I didn't say you were. So one of the things that I remember them doing was I was in the 6th or 7th grade. We went to a yard sale. I was looking, of course, for Nintendo games and things like that. And we found a TurboGrafx 16. And I only knew one person that had it in school. And my mom was like, how much you want for that? The lady was like, it's my son's. He's going to college. $20. And my mom was like, I'll give you 10. That's where I get it from. My mom haggles with me, dude. And damn. Yep. We ended up getting the TurboGrafx 16 for like $10. Keith Courage. And it was Keith Courage and Bunk. Bunk 1. Bunk 1, yeah. 少し、私は日本語が少しわかります. All right, so
So Omar, switch over to your video for just a second. I want to grab the
Sure.
system.
So really
Hang on.
quick, one of the things that I got was I just opened it up while Rob was talking. I collect these Baishoujo statues, and this is Karen from Street Fighter Alpha. So I just literally opened her up, and I was over here just taking these little pieces of plastic off from her. See, these are the Baishoujo figures, and if you've been watching the channel for a long time, you know I collect these and the Marvel and DC ones. So let me see. So I'm also switching out the stand for these. This I love the art of the Baishoujo. Here's a closer look if you want to see.
That's
Karen
pretty. I
in
like
her
that.
laughing pose goes nice along with Sakura. They've done another Sakura and another Chun-Li recently. So Baishoujo, did you get what you needed, man?
I'm ready.
Okay.
All right, so I have not actually opened these. These just came in not that long ago. So I'm going to do an opening and unboxing. I'm going to show you the original. This is I got this from Toys R Us. Well, they were closing out the CD-ROM model, so which is why I was able to get the CD-ROM. But the system I bought, well, my mom got for new. So this is my original TurboGrafx. I carry it, and the CD player itself could be disconnected. So this is me in high school thinking I was cool. I had a quote-unquote portable CD player, and I went to Radio Shack. Shouts out to Radio Shack. You remember what Radio Shack is in the comments below.
If you remember what Radio Shack is, you might need a colonoscopy. Go ahead.
I bought an adapter. I rigged an adapter in 8 AA batteries to get the amount of voltage and amperage so I can make a portable CD player. So I listened to like the soundtrack to East, and that may be why that I'm so attached to the game. So that slides into this base station right here. Slide into that. Lock it down. So there you go. That is the TurboGrafx, and the system itself is much smaller. It's teeny tiny. It's not this big behemoth Goliath.
What was the game on the CD that got you? Was it Ease? Because Ease was only available on the CD, right?
East 1 and 2. And again, this came from, I don't know if I originally wanted East because I saw it in that Turbo Express magazine, or I was just really attracted to the anime style because like it's all about Luna and Fina and Lair, and they're on the covers, and they're just really cool. And again, this is 90s, so we didn't see much anime style type games back then. I was like, I really like these characters, and like Adol, it looks really cool, and Keith and Doge, all these guys. This seems like a cool game. But this game is like the music, because we were used to, and then you put in it's like, what is it? Like the voice acting was actually really well done for a 90s game. Amazing music, video, so just cut things using like moving sprites, things like that. And it was not just one but both games, and they had actually a really good story. The gameplay was pretty fun. You just run into enemies and stuff, but like East, it captivated me. It blew me away. I'm like, this game is amazing. So like, well, I'm going to do a video in a couple of weeks about the 9 or 10 games that define me. You're going to figure that East is going to be on that list. So this is the original TurboGrafx. And this is the...
What system is the East Celestia on?
It is currently on... You can download it from
It's on the Switch?
I don't think it's on the Switch. It's on PC and PS4.
Do me a favor, move your headset a little bit away. Like no, your mouthpiece. There you go.
Close?
I don't know. It was cutting off and on a little bit. I don't know why.
So this is what the original PC engine. This is actually technically the core graphics. The original PC engine was white. This is an upgraded version. Upgraded, actually, it has very similar internals. The processor's a little different, but you see how small this thing is. There's really not much use of a mini because it's already pretty small in and upon itself. So let's crack this open. I've wanted to open this up for a while. Here we go. And let's see how many... Oh, there's a sale. Sorry. Well, the unboxing's over. I can't open the game. Sorry, guys. Maybe next time. Smash that notification icon.
Go ahead and hit that like button if you haven't hit it yet.
If you haven't already. All right, here we go. So I suggest these things are on Amazon, and the shipping is delayed. And like I said, the only reason I got mine is because they literally came from Japan, because I ordered them from Amazon Japan when they released. All right, so this, oh my goodness, it's so tiny. Phrasing. So this is what's in the box. Cables, HDMI cable, and actual controller and the system itself. So this is the system. Oh my god, it is tiny. Phrasing. That's it. And this is the original one, so there's not that much size difference between the two, which is kind of funny to me. All right. But it does look, it has exactly the same form factor. To the back. It has a little, this is with the expansion port. Does it come off? Does the expansion port come off? It does! Oh my god, that's amazing! Konami bought the rights to all this stuff. Konami, so this was an NEC. NEC's in the corner. This is an NEC Hudson partnership back in the day, and then eventually Konami bought Hudson, so they inherited all of this properties and IP. So that's why you have actually a really good selection of games on here. So there you go. There's that, and let's check out the Turbo one. And this box art, this is exactly what this looked like. I think I still have the box somewhere, and there might be a dude, you see more of the dude playing the controller or whatever, but like that's pretty authentic what it looks like. Let's see. Let's open this up too. Just those who say I don't open things, here you go. This is me opening things against all better judgment. It's in the box. The Manuel. HDMI cable. Power cable. Does it come with RCA cables? It should. Yeah, so let's talk about that. So you see on my original chart, let's look real quick. The back in the day, there you go. Let's see, that's the system. The original Turbo, it had horrible audio output. You could only get like RCA out, and you could buy an adapter called a Turbo Booster that plugged into the top that would give you like. No, it came with an RF adapter. You could buy something called a Turbo Booster that allow you to output RCA, which is marginally better, but still terrible. So to get this thing in HDMI, you currently, and I've talked about this on an episode, is you have to get something called a Super SD System 3, and it has RGB output. So here's the real one, and here's the mini one. So yeah, they're a pretty small system in and upon itself. So let's see. I send something off. This is exactly what this thing looks like. I have one over there. Yep. That's really cool. I'm getting the feels because my brother would take this and just lose it. Like, bruh, you got to keep up with this stuff. And it routes through just like the other one did. Yeah, this looks exactly.
What's the other rich people console, Neo Geo? Does that have a mini? It does. It was on sale for $29.99 recently, the arcade version of it.
Yes, and
what's the retail price of this one?
These were $99. $99 is what these were, and they'll probably go down a little bit. And like what you said, the international Neo Geo, which it's kind of neat because it has like the 40 games on it, and it has a built-in joystick and buttons in the screen, and it's terrible. Actually, no. I think it's the HDMI output that's terrible, but on the screen it actually looks good, which doesn't make sense. You think it'd be the other way around, but maybe because the screen is just smaller. So yeah, if you have $29 and can catch it on sale, you should get one because then you have like a pretty decent emulation of like Metal Slug, Samurai Showdown, Fatal Fury, World Heroes. I think even Magician Lord made it on there. So there you go. That is the TurboGrafx Mini and the PC Engine Mini. And again, these games, the games that are on the system are legit. If you haven't played Dracula X, the music, the graphics, the story, the branching paths, the gameplay, Dracula X is. I go back and forth between Super Castlevania 4 and Dracula X on which one that I like more, and Symphony of the Night. It's one of those three. Of
course, there's three that you like. You can't just choose one.
No, you gotta choose one, three. So I encourage you, if you want to really see a piece of history that this thing dominated Japan. It blew Nintendo out of the water. It blew Sega out of the water. This is the system that everything came out on. So there's a reason why these games are fabulous. So if you can get your hands on a Turbo Mini or PC Engine Mini, I encourage you to do so. But there we go. Thank you, sir, for allowing me the chance to do that.
Me? Sure, man. And that was pretty much my haul. Was there anything else that you had, Rob? You never found your Trials of Mana, huh?
Maybe I am high and on that Reaper because I don't see it. I thought I ordered it. I thought I did.
It's out of print now. It's out of print. Let us know in the comments down below if you're not watching this live what you ended up getting for the month of April, what you're looking forward to in May. Is there a game you're looking forward to in May? Have there been delays, Rob? Like what's going on with the video game world?
Yeah,
I know about the comics.
So the big delay is we were supposed to get The Last of Us this month, and that's again pushed back to next June. But at least we had a release date because for a while it was. Is there Snatcher? Actually, yes, Snatcher is on here. Now the English version of this thing, when the Japanese games are on here, they're just the Japanese games. So if you want to play Snatcher, you just better learn.
You better
Japanese
download that patch. You better download that patch.
I'm sure. Just like the Famicom Mini, the NES Mini, and the Genesis Mini all have that Hachi thing to add games, I'm sure you could probably add the patch version to this as well. So there you go. Learn your Japanese, and wait, you understand Japanese, so it's fine. So Ghost of Tsushima is July 19th, so they got pushed back to make room for the June 17th release.
Oh, here's a good question. Last of Us 2, is that for next June?
No. Last of Us 2 is coming out in a month.
A month,
so,
okay, good.
Yeah, so I'm super pumped for that, and I didn't order the crazy, ridiculous edition, but I did order a special edition of Last of Us 2. I'm glad they didn't cancel my order. Originally, it was pushed back indefinitely because they're trying to figure out how to get the game release and the physical release to coincide so people can experience the story. Although the leaks thrown that out the window. Please stay away from leaks. Experience the story as the game's meant to be played, and don't spoil anything for other people too. But that's the big thing I'm looking for next month. This month, I mean, like I still have enough games to go through that I'm fine. And then I'll probably will start Charles and Mana. It's in this house somewhere. I just can't find it.
Don't do that, Shadow Warrior. That happened. That happened before, where people couldn't hear me for a minute.
Oh yeah, that's called you going on mute. Maybe, I don't know.
It was a cable. I forgot to plug it in. It was ridiculous. So yeah, man, you'll get it in a month. Anything else, Rob, that has been pushed back that you know of?
Those are the big ones. Is Tsushima, and this is the end of the PlayStation 4 big huge releases. So looking forward to those. And we kind of talked about the leaks and all the drama that's going back with that. I think we talked a little bit about Doom Eternal and all the drama with the soundtrack and that was pushed back and things like that. But no crazy ridiculous version. Look at the Neo Geo, $59. It's.
I came close to when it was $29. I came so close to buying it, the little arcade one, because
$60. Again, the quality of the emulation is good, but it's also a ton of fighting games on it. There's a ton of fighting games on it, which I like fighting games. It's fine, but like you could have had fake man. You could.
That's what I call them.
But I mean, like I don't think stuff like Magician Lord and Blues Journey and stuff like that's on there. Like it's like 59, Blues. Maybe 29, most definitely.
Yeah, why didn't I buy it? I think it was because I don't know. I've been emulated out, so Amazon has it for $39 right now. That's what they're saying.
Yeah. So like $39, it's definitely.
Can you hook up the little arcade to another little arcade and dual match that way?
You can plug in a controller into the side of that thing, and two people can play
on that tiny little screen.
Yeah, on the tiny little screen, and like I said, ridiculous. It has HDMI out, so you can plug it to a TV or monitor and play it that way. But again, the emulation is not.
You guys should go for the Neo Geo X instead.
Oh, you. Really? Are you right over there, dude?
This nerd. When are we gonna get that?
There,
when are we gonna get that room tour? That's what people want, Rob. They want your video game room tour.
Okay,
y'all
right.
are impressed by my comic books. You should see this freaking nerd's video games.
So the shelf, I told you, I've been saying this. Oh, waiting for a shelf because of lockdown, quarantine, COVID-19. Please wash your hands and 6 feet away. Shipping on the final bookshelf has been pushed. I ordered that thing like back in March, and it's still like not here. So when that happens, I can put things on it, put together, like that'll happen. But so just give me a little bit more time. Allow shipping. My birthday present, which was this weekend, still isn't here, but it's okay. I'm just gonna be patient about that. And when the birthday present gets here, I will share that with you guys because as a gaming nerd, I think people on the screen will appreciate what it is.
All right, so there you go, guys. Are you guys gonna buy Assassin's Creed Valhalla? Okay, there you have it. Why not? All right, KOF tournament win, boy. As long as it's 96, my dude, so I can get my team of Leona, Kyo, and Terry Bogard. Happy birthday, Rob. Yeah, it was May 2nd. Same. I gave you a shout out on the live show I had. You and my mom share the same birthday, man.
That's why I'll never forget your mom's birthday.
Weird. I love these fighting games and Metal Slug.
You know,
yeah.
If you want, I can go look and see what's on it because it's right there. I can go look and see what's on it. But I think it's like
Rob should do a walkthrough video. Yeah, he should.
I will. I'll show you all my nerdy stuff. I will. Thank you, Gabriel. I appreciate it. So for $39, especially $29 for $39,
Twitch that shit.
It's Twitch. I'm kidding. And you should too, Omar. $39 is worth it for that internet because you like those fighters, and you can get another controller and plug it in.
I'll think about it. Maybe if it's 25, I'll jump. You know how cheap I am. Well, remember when we got screwed over with the Neo Geo little emulator thing a couple of years ago? They were supposed to release multiple video games, and then never did. All it was just
one, and I bought it. I didn't buy it at full price, but in the emulation on that's what we need to do. Street Fighter V Tourney. That's what we need to do.
My SNK fighting game was always stronger. Happy birthday, Rob. Can you please ask David for a Man of Steel reprint? I love all these inside jokes. I love them. Thank you, Joe Cool. That's awesome.
Oh, actually, that's what we should do.
Children of the Earth. Oh, yes.
Well, we do this thing called Video Game Armageddon.
Every year.
We do Video Game Armageddon. So what we can do is I have the ability to capture some of the stuff. So, and I have like some arcade boards that I think I can capture, and I could probably rig up a stream. So maybe we could do that. The next Armageddon is like actually stream somebody getting their tail whooped. I think that could be a thing.
Yeah, I think it'll be a lot of fun because we get together once a year. Our buddy Shane comes in from Sony, wherever he's working these days. I assume he's still at Sony, right?
Yeah, he's still at Sony.
Okay, good.
He told me every game is coming out on PlayStation 5. I have one sitting here that's slightly out of camera. I'm kidding.
Liar! Thank you, everybody, for joining us for this early chat. And
sorry we went over on time.
They're fine. You guys are fine. They're still watching. I will be back later tonight on Old Reader, New Reader, where we are talking about Superman Funeral for a Friend. So join me for that. That's 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. If you can do so, I'll be here with Amanda and Maddie. Any last words, Rob?
I don't have a thing. Just want you to say, as usual, smash that notification icon. And remember, gamers who play together, stay together. So keep playing, love one another, maintain social distance, wash your hands, think about others, and peace. Keep gaming. No spoilers. Keep gaming. Have a good one.
Much love to all of y'all.
Peace.